Did Rey Fenix sign an NDA to secure his early release from AEW, paving the way to a move to WWE? More twists and turns reportedly are expected on the road to WrestleMania 41. WWE superstar Natalya is set to compete at the NWA Crockett Cup pay-per-view. Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards signed contract extensions with TNA Wrestling. An update on Asuka, she's reportedly set to miss WrestleMania due to her current injury. More details on the barbed wire steel chair used by Sami Zayn against Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber. Uncle Howdy reportedly is cleared for a WWE in-ring return. WWE absolutely planned for the US National Anthem to be booed at Elimination Chamber in Canada, according to new reports. What Triple H said to Iyo Sky after a shock Women's World Championship victory on Raw last night. Triple H also says he doesn't want to do monthly two-night premium live events, and Jey Uso has a message for Gunther as they get closer to WrestleMania. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. As you can see in the sidebar, the full schedule for a ton of watch-alongs in the month of March has now been revealed. We will be doing watch-alongs for Raws, SmackDowns in the UK, in Europe, in Italy, in Belgium, in Spain, as well as in the US Madison Square Garden. All the details are on the sidebar, so be sure to join us live for all of those watch-alongs. It's going to be a big month and a big road to WrestleMania. Let's get in, though, to the biggest stories, beginning with Rey Fenix and his exit from All Elite Wrestling. Now, Rey Fenix may not spend time criticizing AEW following his release from the promotion. Now, it emerged yesterday on March 3rd that Rey Fenix had been released by AEW after weeks of negotiations over his exit, and he is expected to join WWE imminently. WWE were already making plans for Fenix as of last week, and Fightful Select has reported that Fanatics have begun preparing merchandise for the Luchador. Fenix was set to be under contract with All Elite Wrestling until well into 2025 after AEW added close to a year of injury time to his deal around September of last year. AEW added injury time to both Rey Fenix and his brother Penta's contracts after the company reportedly discovered they were in talks with WWE while still being under contract to AEW. Penta exited AEW in December when his deal expired, and he subsequently debuted on Monday Night Raw in January the following year. After injury time was added to Fenix's deal, he publicly expressed his unhappiness, tweeting about inhumane treatment and posting a photo of himself in a straitjacket. Fightful Select noted that AEW were actually considering releasing Fenix in November of last year, but his comments, quote, complicated things, end quote, and he remained under contract into 2025. Fightful also noted that while AEW didn't address Fenix's allegations publicly, they denied them privately. People within AEW do also expect Fenix would have likely had to agree to an NDA, not a non-disclosure agreement, but a non-disparage clause as part of his AEW release. When Fenix will debut in WWE is unknown, but of course we get any more details on possible WrestleMania plans, we'll let you know in a future video. Speaking of WrestleMania, more twists and turns are expected at WWE Elimination Chamber in Toronto. Of course, John Cena shocked the world when he turned heel by aligning with The Rock against WWE champion Cody Rhodes. The turn by Cena took place after he won the Men's Elimination Chamber to earn a WWE Championship match against Rhodes at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. For Cena, it's the first time he's been a heel performer since 2003, and he has become an ally of The Rock, who has taken on the heel persona of the Final Boss since last year's WrestleMania. The Men's Elimination Chamber match also saw Drew McIntyre hit Damian Priest with a Claymore kick after being eliminated. Also, Seth freaking Rollins hit a stomp on CM Punk after Rollins was eliminated. Those actions have led people to think that McIntyre may face Priest at WrestleMania, while Rollins could be against Punk and possibly Roman Reigns at WrestleMania as well. Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer Live revealed that WWE has plans for more twists and turns over the next 7 weeks on the road to WrestleMania 41. Quote, I was told that when the Chamber show was over, there were a bunch of matches that seemed like, okay, we know what we got for Mania. I was told there are more twists and turns coming. If you think you know the Mania card based on what happened at our Elimination Chamber, there are going to be some changes. There's 7 weeks till Mania, so there's a lot of things they can do. Now, what those changes are remains to be seen, but fans should keep watching WWE programming, of course, to see what happens. Now, this is certainly really interesting. News came out that Natalya was going to be competing at GCW Bloodsport, but now she's also coming to the National Wrestling Alliance. The NWA has announced today that Natalya will compete at the NWA Crockett Cup 2025. The event is set for May 17th at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The NWA tweeted out the following quote, "Just announced on Busted Open Radio, the Crockett Cup returns on May 17th to the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. If the most prestigious tag team tournament ever isn't enough, WWE superstar Natalya will be competing in an NWA ring. This will mark Natalya's debut in the National Wrestling Alliance. As I mentioned, she was announced for Bloodsport on Monday evening, and now she's also going to be in the NWA. Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards, they're sticking around in TNA Wrestling. TNA Wrestling has confirmed that Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards have both re-signed with the company on March 4th, 2025. PW Insider initially reported that the system members will remain with TNA according to their sources. TNA Wrestling would then confirm the reports in a press release on the official website. The press release confirming that Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards have signed multi-year contract extensions reads, quote, TNA Wrestling confirmed today that it has re-signed Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards as first reported by PWInsider.com. Stalwarts in the system and real-life husband and wife, Eddie and Alicia are decorated wrestlers who have called TNA Wrestling their home for more than a decade. Eddie arrived in TNA in January 2014 as one half of the Wolves tag team. He has since won, well, just about everything possible. His TNA resume includes TNA World Champion 2 times, TNA World Tag Team Championship 7 times, TNA X Division Champion 2 times, 8th TNA Triple Crown Champion, and Match of the Year award winner in 2020. A Boston native and a die-hard fan of all Boston pro sports teams, Eddie broke into pro wrestling in 2002 and was trained by Killer Kowalski. He has signed a multi-year extension with TNA Wrestling. Alicia made a brief debut in TNA in 2008 and has been an ever-present force in the Knockouts division since 2017. Alicia teamed with the current Knockouts World Champion Master Slamovich in 2024, forming the Militia, and the duo captured the Knockouts World Tag Team Championship, which they held for 133 days. The system was formed in January 2024 and is led by Moose, with Brian Myers joining Eddie and Alicia Edwards at its inception. May 2024 would see Slamovich added to the faction, only to depart in September of that year. JDC would join the system in June 2024 and continues to be a member at the time of recording. Now let's talk about Asuka possibly missing this year's WrestleMania event. Asuka may not be back on WWE television in time for WrestleMania 41. According to Bodyslam.net, Asuka is expected to be out of action for at least a couple more months, and she will likely return at some point after WrestleMania. WrestleMania 41 is scheduled to be held on April 18th and 19th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. WWE reportedly hoped to have Asuka back sooner, but the company are taking a cautious approach with her recovery. Asuka has been out of action since she and Kairi Sane dropped the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill at Backlash back in May of last year. Asuka later underwent knee surgery. As of January of this year, WWE were reportedly discussing plans for Asuka's on-screen return, but there was no word on a possible timetable. The 43-year-old has been signed to WWE since 2015, and she is a 4-time Women's Champion on the main roster, a 1-time NXT Women's Champion, and 4-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. Asuka noted earlier this year that fans were interfering with her private life, and WWE and TKO were taking steps to protect her. Going back to Elimination Chamber, and many people were talking about the barbed wire used in Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens' unsanctioned match at the PLE. According to an update from Fightful Select, who reported that the barbed wire used during the bout was not gimmicked or shaved down. This reportedly came at the request of at least one of the talents. Barbed wire was introduced to the match when Zayn fetched a steel chair from under the ring, only to find it wrapped in barbed wire. His facial expression seemed to indicate that he had no idea of its existence, implying that Owens had heelishly stashed it there prior to the event. Both were on the receiving end of spots involving the weapon, most notably Owens, who took a drop toe hold face first into barbed wire, as well as a blue thunder bomb onto a structure involving the chair in question. Despite this, it was Owens who won the contest, although his attempted post-match attack on Zayn was then foiled by the returning Randy Orton. This has led many to assume a WrestleMania match between Owens and Orton is set to take place, although nothing has yet been confirmed in that regard. Sami Zayn, meanwhile, is out of action indefinitely following Elimination Chamber. An update here on Uncle Howdy. Now, WWE superstar Uncle Howdy, also known as Bo Dallas, is set for a return to the ring after suffering an undisclosed injury. This comes via a report from Bodyslam.net, with it being noted that Dallas suffered an undisclosed injury, possibly a shoulder injury, in December. This caused Dallas to be taken off TV, but he has been medically cleared for a WWE in-ring return. Bo has wrestled 2 matches since returning as Uncle Howdy, the first a singles victory over Chad Gable, and the second as part of the Wyatt 6 8-man tag team loss to The Miz, Karrion Kross, and the AOP. However, Dallas' absence from TV has arguably been quite a surprise, even if dealing with an injury, given that the appeal of the Uncle Howdy character has mainly lay in promos and atmospheric non-wrestling segments thus far. Other members of the Wyatt 6 include Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Nikki Cross. Why WWE opted not to keep the Wyatt 6 on television is unknown, but it could be due to the intensification of many storylines as we approach WrestleMania 41. Now, one of the controversies coming out of Elimination Chamber at the weekend was the booing of the US national anthem. Now, WWE are said to have absolutely planned for the United States national anthem to be booed at Elimination Chamber, according to a report from Fightful Select. Towards the end of the kickoff show on Saturday night, Elizabeth Irving's rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner was booed by the crowd in Rogers Centre amidst political tensions between Canada and the United States. Relations between the two countries have deteriorated since the election of Donald Trump as president of the US, with Trump repeatedly saying he thinks it would be a great idea for Canada to become the 51st state of the US. WWE color commentator Pat McAfee would negatively refer to the booing of the US national anthem multiple times during Elimination Chamber, at one point calling Canada terrible. He has since offered an explanation for his reaction on the Pat McAfee show, saying the following quote, "Now Canada, listen, there's been something said to me from Canadians that I guess I respect because of the passion that you have for your country, which I hope you understand that I was showing the same for mine. You booed my country. Anytime I've ever heard somebody boo our national anthem, my natural reaction is let's fight. That's literally my natural reaction. Now, a lot of Canadians have told me, why don't you do a little of investigating on why we're booing? Okay, did you hear what our president said? Okay, listen, I understand there's political differences at the current moment between US and Canada, but I feel like anytime I think of Canada, I don't think of what Justin Trudeau does. I don't think immediately of Justin Trudeau's decisions. I don't think immediately of what Canada is doing in the political sphere. I think of the people of Canada. So I understand now from the Canadians that they have a lot more passion for their country than I could have ever imagined. A lot of terrible things have been said about me, and I understand it. You boo my country. I called your country terrible. Let's shake hands. You said you didn't boo every member of the United States or every citizen of the United States of America. Well, I didn't say the Canadians are terrible. I said your country was. So you booed us. I said you're terrible. Let's shake hands. Let's move along. There you go. That's what I would like to say. And I still love Canadians, okay? We got one in the building. Now, Iyo Sky is the brand new WWE Women's World Champion, and Triple H has shared a special moment with the new champion following her victory on Raw. At Elimination Chamber Toronto, Bianca Belair won the Chamber match to earn a Women's World title shot, while John Cena, of course, booked his final WrestleMania match against Cody Rhodes. Belair's opponent was still unknown, as Rhea Ripley put her Women's World Championship on the line against Iyo Sky last night on Raw. For months, a huge match between Ripley and Belair at WrestleMania had been rumoured, but now, as of right now, that's not happening. With Bianca Belair watching from ringside, a distraction from the EST ended up allowing Iyo Sky to defeat Rhea Ripley and win the Women's World title and become a WWE Grand Slam champion in the process. After the bout, Triple H shared an emotional moment with the new champion as he greeted Sky before embracing her. When Sky told Triple H that she was excited about WrestleMania and did her best, the game replied, "You always do," before noting that her title win was deserved, not given. Speaking of the game, he's given a bit of an update when it comes to the future of WWE PLEs. WWE expanded WrestleMania to a 2-night event in 2020 due to the pandemic, but kept it to 2 nights once crowds returned. In 2025, WWE SummerSlam will be a 2-night event. At the WWE Elimination Chamber post-show press conference, Triple H was asked about the possibility of expanding other events to 2 nights. Quote, "There's a large part of me that wants to slap the crap out of you for asking me that. I'm not doing 2-night pay-per-views once a month. There is too much shit. Let's get that out of the way," stated Triple H. So I guess that settles that. And finally, Jey Uso has a message for the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. On the March 3rd episode of Raw, World Heavyweight Champion Gunther defeated Otis. When he attacked Otis after the bell, Jey Uso made the save. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller attacked Uso and he fought them off, but Gunther choked out his WrestleMania opponent. Later in the show, Uso was interviewed backstage and he said that all he heard is he can't do it. He stated that Gunther had him doubting himself and his back was against the wall. Uso said he felt like he was suffocating as if he couldn't breathe, but the only person who would pick him up was himself. Jey then said that Gunther may have said that he would give him weeks of hell, but he would walk through the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil. Uso said that at WrestleMania he was crashing out. He told Gunther that he may have to put him to sleep that night, but he woke up a beast. Of course, Uso is set to face Grayson Waller on next week's episode of Raw and then challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey, guys. Listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today, be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.